So what we're going to do now is I'm going to talk about your listings and how the listings are developed on HAR and what they look like from the realtor side versus the consumer side. So you're going to be using two hats right now. From the realtor side, when you go into MLS and you add your listing to Tempo, or we'd say MLS, because it doesn't matter if you're in Fusion or if you're in Tempo. Tempo, Fusion, they're going to both end up at the same place. They're going to go to MLS for you to add your listing, okay? By the way, are you all aware that you can get to your listings and modify them on your tablet?
You mean your iPhone?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding.
Shut the front door.
It's at the front door.
You can do it. I'm going to show you how to do that too, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you here from my listings. When I click on my listings on the left here, this brings up this area here where your listings are listed, right? Okay, remember I was telling you need a pen. So let me give you a hint of something that I would suggest if I were a realtor, what you should always do. Now, this is from a marketing perspective.
They should all have a capital title, right?
Yes, and you know, that's one reason to use Capital Title. They got the best pens ever, okay?
Best what?
Best pens ever, okay? If I were a realtor, this is what I would do. Have a 3x5 card with the address of the property that I have listed and the MLS number next to it. Always with me. So that if I wanted to send someone to my listing directly, it would be easy for me to do that. How would I send them to it? This MLS number here is the unique identifier, right? So all I would have to do is take this number and tell them to go to www.har.com, and that's going to be a standard, right? Your variable is after the slash, the number. So you're going to have the address and the number. So you'll say to that particular person, go to the internet and type in www.har.com/the MLS number and hit the enter key, and you can see one of my properties.
Okay, now can I jump in here just 1 second?
Please do.
Not to dilute what you're saying.
No.
But you all should be aware that you can do exactly the same thing with your free Lead Street website. You type in your URL / the MLS number, and you'll get this same picture framed on your RE/MAX website.
That's awesome.
Okay, you have a free Lead Street website. Do you know what that address is? You don't know where your free website is?
Well, yeah, I know what it is.
Do you?
Okay.
Where is it?
But you have to be able to say it like blue.
Yes.
You have to blue.
Like
Yeah.
sandrasellshomes.com. That's a URL.
Or
Oh,
sissyandSandra.com.
That's a URL. Is that your free Lead Street website?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right, we'll talk after this.
So that is something that RE/MAX provides. You guys have, if you know what your website address is, that particular Lead Street website / the MLS number is better to use in HAR because you're not advertising HAR. You're advertising yourself. Does that make sense? You're providing a brand which is at a higher level than actually using what I just showed you. And then at that point, it's going to be framing in other features that go beyond what I'm showing you here. So you want to do that. You want to actually use those services too. All right? So you make sure you in Jamaica would say, stick a pin on that and make sure you get back to it. All right? Now, let's talk some more about what happens when you get this MLS listing automatically. The first thing that happens automatically is that you have an area over here to the right, and remember we're under MLS on my listings. Automatically you get where it says select an action. I select an action. That's right here to the right. Many things are listed. You're going to have create a property website. It's just there.
That would be on an active listing.
All of your personal active listings are going to have create a property website. So when the consumer, when you go and look at that, you will now have this link with all your high resolution, beautiful pictures, right? You didn't close your eyes and go like this and take pictures, but you have beautiful images. This website's already there. It already has it framed and ready to go with a predefined layout of all the information that you added on that listing. Tiled, ready to go. Remember, you can add, what, 36 images to a listing? And it's got all the property tax data, the appraisal district information, the neighborhood data, the school information, the map. You've got your mortgage calculator on there. Your contact information is going to be here, and a map of where your office is. Now the URL, the website address at the top of here is not one that can be remembered. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But what you do have, and these jump to those sections that I just spoke about. So if I were to click, for example, on neighborhood, it will jump to that section off the page that we're looking at. Here is where your share button is. This will share to social networking platforms that the consumer would see when they go to that property page. So they could share it on Pinterest. So let's say there were Pinterest users and they wanted to share that listing. Where would they share it? Either on their private board, because Pinterest gives you private boards where nobody can see their pins, or they could share it on a public board to say, this is one of my favorite properties. Now, what you also want to think about is the possibility of you setting up that property as a pin on your own boards, on your Pinterest board for activity. That's something that you can do. Although, this is what I would say to that. These are temporary links, because when the listing changes, when the property sells, the link is going to change. So my suggestion is to create a WordPress site or a blog that's going to make it a permanent, and then take that link and put it on Pinterest, because you're in control of it. Then you can go in and modify it later on. That might be over your head a little bit, but just know that these links here do change. And in order to keep the integrity of a link on Pinterest, you would want to put the link on a place that you have control of that particular listing. And that's something we can certainly talk about some more later. Now, if you wanted to share this website address on a social networking platform and type in something manually to share it, like Twitter. Twitter provides you with 140 characters. We won't go into too much detail about it, but in all of the social networking platforms that I would talk about, Twitter and Google Plus, in my opinion, are the two important ones. Twitter is #1 in my book. You would want to be able to use that 140 characters and capitalize on it. So these would eat up a lot of those 140 characters. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So what you would want to do is take this and copy it and make that into another link that is much smaller. So you can go to bit.ly.com and create your own page. So I would say go ahead and your own account. Go to bit.ly.com and set up your own account at bit.ly.com. bit.ly.com.
Does that shorten the link?
And this is going to, yes, it's going to shorten the link. So when I click in here and I paste that link, it will take the long link and make it into this tiny little link. It makes it into this tiny little link that you can now paste and use on your Twitter account with the comments that you're creating. So it would redirect the consumer or the visitor to the big link. And it also gives you statistics as to how many times the link has been selected, what type of device they used when they selected the link, and so on, what country it came from, where, all of that information is provided back to you. This is great when you're sending out a standard email. And the reason why that is because when you send out a standard email, how many of you have an idea of how effective it is? just by sending it out. How many statistics do you get? Right? None. But if you use this, at least if somebody clicks on it, you'll know, because you can come back and look at the report on that link to see.
Will it show you who clicked?
No, it will show you where the clicks come from. Who clicked is going to be using an email management system like Constant Contact,
Yes.
or some kind of a program like that.
Okay.
But this will track the links for you.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's great. Another option for that long URL is simply to buy the property address URL at GoDaddy and then point it to that long URL.
Yes, but that's, I mean, yes, that's temporary, right? For a year.
We buy it for a year, yes.
Yeah, but this is
forever.
well, this is free. I mean, this is just, you get the statistics, and that is not going to give you, this is not actually going to tell you how many clicks you're getting, where the clicks are coming from, and all that. It's
I
not.
see a lot of value in this.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool.
Buying a URL for a listing is great. I think it's a great idea if you know that listing is going to be something that you're going to have for a long time, because that's a unique URL. Once it's gone, it's gone. You still got it. But a bit.ly link for a post, one post, you can throw that away because it's just for one post and you're getting some statistics on it. You can actually create bit.ly links that you can keep for a long time. I have one for my resume. I've got one for, the services I provide. I have one that I keep in my email signature and so forth. So you can keep bit.ly links for several different types of things to get an idea of what, and it's great to create codes, QR codes, for videos, any kind of redirection that you want. The other thing that I would say, and I want to repeat this twice, Google Plus, like I told y'all, Google Plus is the next one that I would suggest that you use. When I'm talking about advertising now, Google Plus is extremely important so everybody should have a Gmail account. You might not believe it, but it's really important. When you have your...
Yeah, we're going to have you come back and do a Google class.
Okay, so when you have your Google Plus account set up, the reason I mention the Google Plus account to you is because you cannot use a bit.ly converter in Google. You have to use their service.
So is Google different? It's the same as Google Plus, or are they?
Anything that's Google is Google. Yes. So you have Google, and then you have all these tentacles that fall off of it. Google Plus, YouTube, Gmail.
What I'm asking is, if you belong to Google,
You get it.
you get Google Plus.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying sign up for a Google email account, and then you just automatically will have Google Plus.
Okay.
Right?
You have to sign up for an email.
Get the Gmail account.
Gmail.
Yes, ma'am. Go to gmail.com. If you don't have one, sign up, and then you're ready to start. Because once you sign up, you'll see this little square here, and all of these things, plus more, will be available to
I
you.
got one more question.
Yes.
About that Google email, Gmail. It has a tendency to filter a little bit more than your regular email, wouldn't it? As far as trash.
Gmail?
Yeah.
I found that it's very effective, but it hasn't taken away anything that I didn't want it to take away.
That's what I'm saying, but it gets rid of some of your trash.
Oh yes, it's
Okay,
extremely good at that. I use it for my personal email, and I keep it separate from my business email. Yes, so I keep my emails separate. So
But get a business Gmail.
no, but we'll talk about that. What I'm saying is you want it for a specific reason. And when you do the Google class, I'll give you an idea of what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I'm referencing to in this in particular is your listings. When you want to put your listings on Google, you can't use bit.ly. You can't use bit.ly to do it. You have to use Google's truncating service. And I'd like to give that to you, and it's called goo.gl.
G-O-L?
Goo.gl.
G-O-O.
They've shortened their own name.
Wait a minute, G-O-O dot
GL.
G-L.
And that's free also. You don't have to sign up for it, because once you have your Google account and you're logged in, You just go to goo.gl, type in the website address or add it in, and when you hit shorten, it will, of course, ask you to put in a number, which it always does. 6, 3, 9, 8, 6. And then you have to type in that number after that. 1, 1. Verify it. And then it gives you the GU, the number.
They call that a GU?
This is a GU,
Okay.
yes.
So you can add that listing to that.
Correct. Then you can put this on your Google Plus account. Why is that important? It's Google, guys. Google is going to index your postings on the search engines. Okay? It's Google. Google Plus is equivalent to using Facebook fan pages, not profile pages, fan pages. So when you add a listing on Google Plus, it takes the listing that you add and it indexes it, especially if you use, if you'll notice right here, Ken Brand added something. You notice he had hashtag the office. When you start using hashtags effectively, they take those into consideration when putting listings, not necessarily MLS listings, but anything you list on their search results. Let me stop right there. Anything that you add into a social networking platform like Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of those are, like here, we're socially networking with each other. These are all separate platforms. Separate, meaning separate types of platforms. Nobody's saying you have to use them all. But my suggestion is if you're going to use anything, Google Plus and Twitter are the two that I would suggest you use if you want to be found on the internet.
She hasn't changed her tune either. I've been doing a lot of these classes with her, and she's beating down the Twitter, so that's all I need to hear.
We're gonna have you back to teach both of those to us, because I don't know anybody in the office who has mastered those two platforms other than Canvas, of course.
And what do you think of Twitter?
I just started using Twitter more often when I started blogging for my personal use,
But what made you decide to use it?
because when you hashtag stuff, once you hashtag something, when you go to search that hashtag, the more it pulls it all together, kind of like the realtor's public search. It pulls in all that data. Well, when you search a hashtag, it's pulling from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Correct, correct. So what she's essentially saying is, if I go to google.com, which is most of us do when we're searching for something, correct?
Right.
I have my own hashtag that I adopted for myself. What I mean is, I just one day said, I think I want my own hashtag. Well, I didn't go and buy it. I just went and searched to see if it was being used. And when I realized that it came up empty when I searched, I said, I'm going to use that. So that's what you would do, is you would decide, this is what I think I want my hashtag to be. You would search and see if it's available. And if it is available, meaning that it came up empty, nobody's using it, you start using it on a regular basis, everywhere. And mine is Pound Technology Coach. So if you type that in on your computer, you will see that the system will pull you up. So it's pulling me up in all these different places. You'll see Google Plus here. You'll see my Twitter page, my WordPress is coming up. My Facebook, actually my Facebook came up at the top on this one.
Yes.
My Facebook page, like my Facebook fan page came up. Is that making sense?
It would put you higher up.
Yeah.
The more time people view it.
And every time somebody views it, it's more popular. And you add it to your signature, your email signature. You put your hashtag in your email signature so that whomever sees your email signature will get familiar with what your handle is. You know, it's like they'll know what your handle is on the internet.
Can you use the word realtor in a hashtag?
I don't see any reason why not. I did some research on the word realtor and the legalities behind it, and you would be surprised where the word realtor is not to be. You can use the word realtor in a website address
Yes.
at the beginning and on the end, but not in the middle.
Says who?
Says NAR. Says NAR. When you go to NAR and you type in quiz, you'll see a list of quizzes to come up. One of them is going to be a quiz about how to use the word realtor. Go ahead and do the quiz.
Okay.
One of them is about which one of these words are correct or not correct. And you will be surprised. And I've known this for years. I've asked people to do it, and they'll say, no, you can't do it. You can. You can use the word realtor on the end, on the beginning, but not in the middle.
So woodlandsfavoriterealtor.com, no issues with that.
That is an issue
Why is that an issue?
because you're saying you're the favorite realtor.
Yes.
But you can say John Smith Realtor.
Okay, so you can't make
But
a claim.
correct, correct. But you can't say, and you can't say John Smith Realty if you work with Remax.
Cannot.
No. Because you're saying that you're saying you're making an impression that you own your own real estate company. Absolutely. I'm not saying they're not, but I'm giving you ideas about, so that would be a great quiz to send out, wouldn't it? The link is there. We can look for the link and you could send it out and say, take this test and see how you pass it.
Well, is
Right.
there a penalty for doing it if you're caught?
Well, let's put it this way. They don't have enough man hours to find everybody for that. So, you know, it's very interesting. Dot Realtor is coming out very soon. You'll be able to buy your own Dot Realtor domain, top level. So it won't be .com. You'll be able to buy Dot Realtor. So I'll look up the website address for you to get your notification so that you'll be on the top of the list.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll look it up for you before I leave today and give that to you.
That is,
Yes, you'll be in the know on that one. So you've got you have bit.ly.com and you have goo.gl, right? Okay. Now with your home site that you get for your listings, you can change the color just by dragging. It's going to default to blue, and if you wanted to drag it and move it into another color, you can drag it over and you'll notice the background changes, right? Just for the background. It's just a scenario of the background by changing it to what color you want it to be. Okay? And once you've chosen it, you can even make the variation, you know, change the,
how intense.
yeah, how intense do you want it, and then you can save it. Okay? You also have here, when you hit save on that, you can email it to someone, you can share it on your social networking platforms. You can also even go to domain and copy this to point it to your domain. So the HTML, they call this the code, the HTML code can be dumped into your domain.
When you're at the place where it has Facebook's, Twitter, and all that stuff, can you do all of them at one time?
No, and you wouldn't want to. You'd want the consumer to be able to focus in on which one they're interested in. And also for search engines, you want to be capitalize on each one of your properties and talk about them the same way you would on MLS.
So you just want to do it to Twitter or do it to Facebook's or something?
As individual, I think maybe I misunderstood your question.
In other words, what I'm saying is if you're there and they show you all those little icons like the Facebook and all that, all right, can you click the ones that you want at one time?
No, one at a time. So if I said I want to put this on Pinterest, I would click on Pinterest and it would open up my Pinterest account, and then it would ask me, you know, where I want to put this. Well, that's the last place I've been posting is on I Love Hummingbirds, so I would have to hit the drop-down menu and choose which one of these boards I'd want to post on. Okay, and then once I post it on my board, click on the board that I want to put it on, I hit pin it, then it would be on my board. Then what happens, it says, okay, it's also on the Woodlands, Texas. So somebody might have posted it here. It looks like it's on, someone by the name of Don might have posted it on their board already. So you can search also, just to let you know, if you go into Pinterest, You have to join Pinterest to be able to use that. But you can go to Pinterest and you can search the Woodlands real estate and look for properties this way. You notice that real estate is huge. Yeah, so you want to get into the game. You want to get in here and make sure your properties are here.
And what's that called?
Pinterest.
Pinterest, we'll do a class on it too. We'll do a class on it.
I think we have filled up our schedule.
It's what I was just kind of thinking too.
You might as well
Google
just
Plus,
book her for the year.
Pinterest, and Twitter. There we go. There's our next 3 plus.
Selecting an action, we've got creating a market insight. Have you heard of that? Okay, so again, just looking at your own listing, you can update your seller on the activities of your property by saying, okay, show them the listing activity reports, the appointments, subdivision price trends, and so forth. You can add an email address or more to that particular property, and they can be notified on these particular statistics from here. It's called Market Insight. You can create a preview of the Market Insight.
How often does it go out?
Let's see here. I have a pop-up, so I have to say. Let's see. Close. I got to put in an email address. Okay, so this goes out. If you look down here, you can say I want it to go out weekly update.
Okay.
And you can choose the day that you want it to go out. Okay, and you can also say I want a copy of it to go out to you. You can also change the range of comparables that you might want to send if you're going to be sending out comparables on the property. Right over here, and it'll actually give you the listing results automatically on it. So if you say, okay, I want to do not zip code, I want to do a ½ mile radius around, it will show you how many properties are available.
Now that's to be sent to the seller,
Correct.
and it will do that weekly?
Yes.
So it's going to update them with new properties that have come
Yes,
on the market.
and this is just current right now.
Okay.
So if I select create a preview, this will show you what it would look like. So that's showing you there are 27 homes similar to the one available. It'll show the view of it, average listing, blah, blah, blah. Here's the analysis of the properties. Here's the buyer condition information. Here's recent market summary. Got all the listing information there. Price reduction information. Recently sold. And now this depends on what I had in my radius, right? If I did zip code or whatever.
So many small neighborhoods next to a big neighborhood.
Right, right. So my scenario here might have been way off, you know, because this is saying a ½ mile radius. You could have also done price, you know, up or down within 15%. This is saying within 15%. If I said 3%, there's no listings. So you have different scenarios or combinations that you could pull in.
Maybe would have, yeah.
Right. So it might have been much too wide on that. This is where your office listings are. So when you want to filter office listings, you'll see that they're here. This is, if you had violations, they'd be listed here. This is the MLS distribution chart. This shows you where your listings go when they're actually added to MLS. If you wanted to choose to show that to your seller, you could. But what I do suggest you do is to visit those sites to make sure that you're ready to talk to them when they say, well, I went to Zillow. But RPR is great for this because this helps you. When you go to RPR, RPR will show you what they call the AVM, which is the average, the value model that is given by Zillow and Trulia. And you can walk in there and give them information and show them why it's not, you know, it's not correct. of course, you know that they're not updated automatically. So, but you can click here to print it, or you can right click on it and save the image and actually use it on the computer. You can actually just right click and save that image if you want to do that. Okay. You've got your MLS data input forms here. How many of you take that with you on a listing appointment? Okay, that is really something to do, is like go with the MLS data input sheet with you, take it with you on your listing appointment so that they can fill it out and initial the bottom of every page, so that when it's time to add the listing, it only takes a few seconds for whomever is adding it to go through it and make sure everything's correct. And then it literally goes through the form the same way. And this, I understand, has held up in court more than once because it's been initialed by the seller. Let's see. Down here, this is where the instant CMA is. It mirrors itself to the app, the HER app. Any of you use the HER app? No?
It's a CMA.
Okay. Instant CMA, you can create an instant CMA here, but it actually works even better when you're using the app, because this mirrors what the app does. But it uses the GPS as to where you are. So you type in an address here. It doesn't matter if the property is listed or not. It will allow you to do a CMA on it. Okay?
Could we do one?
Sure, go ahead.
It must be an app.
What app is that?
The HAR app.
I thought it was the one like we had in.
All right, that HAR app, is it like the one we have in MLS, or is it that one that comes on the phone that's hard to navigate?
Is it hard to navigate? The blue one?
Huh?
The blue one?
Uh-huh.
You find it hard to navigate?
Well, I find, yeah, I mean, I kind of like the one we can go in and put all our stuff in,
Okay.
Must be like.
unless they've changed it, because before you had, it was hard.
Ask
you
them to
had know
add the
email
password for me.
and so on and so forth.
Okay, so what street address would you like me to add to try to do a quick?
Oh, somebody give her a property address to Woodlands.
Okay, give her that,
Head stall.
yeah,
8938, that's HEDSTAL.
H-E,
A-D,
No,
S-T-A-L-I.
no, it's
Head
HE.
stall.
You've got to, it's HEDSTAL.
No
H-
A in there.
Head,
Oh,
H-E-A-D,
Okay, and
S-T-A-L-I.
so,
two L's?
No, there isn't.
H-E-A-D, like your head, and then stall, S-T-A-L-L.
Okay.
A-L-L, no E. S-T-A-L-L.
S-T-A-L-I.
Nope,
Two
A-L-L.
L's.
A-L-L.
Nope, you take the E out.
S-T-A-L-L.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Zip code is,
77375, I think.
all right.
Is that your final answer?
Right.
well, it's in area.
Okay, so there it is. It comes right up and it shows it to you. So if I click on this, it's going to pull it up, and it quickly says, all right, number one, I'm looking at sold listings. Which ones do you want to pull in? So it gives you a list of properties, right?
Pacer is one that's close by.
Which one? Pacer?
Pacer.
So if I just click on it like that,
There's a dancer in there.
Head stall, there's another head stall down
Uh-huh.
there.
So you're picking your comps, right, Desi?
correct.
Uh,
And this is what you do on the app.
yeah, I just don't know the area very well.
Doing that.
Pacer, there's another Pacer.
Yeah, Pacer, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Okay, so let's say I choose those, right? Thank you so much. Let's say I choose those, okay? And then from here, I just go to next. At the bottom right, I'm going to click on next. It's going to take me to pending. So here are the 3 pending. So I'll click this one, right? Head stall. And any other? Just leave that one. It says there's active properties, so I'm going to hit this. There's 3 active.
I can tell those last two are probably on the other side of the road, which is not,
Okay,
so it has to be Saddle Brook Branch.
all right.
Yeah, they're in Londonderry, it looks like.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
Okay, so then what happens is it gives you the averages, the square footage and so forth, your property analysis, and it shows you the suggested listed price here. You can always add adjustments to it right here if you wanted to. Well, now remember, RPR does an incredible job on CMAs to the point where you will not believe it. It's just
What does?
RPR, Realtor Property Resource. This is a quick and dirty CMA, like just quick, you know, if you're just needing something. So then here's where you type in the name of the person, right?
You mean this thing?
It's NAR,
.com.
And I direct that in.
NAR.
And I'll get you the,
We're gonna get you a card when the class is done. I'll get one out of Desi's truck for you.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I have some in my office. I can
You,
get 'em right now.
you have enough? Because I can get you some more. All right. Okay, so right here is what comes up. I don't know why you would share it on the internet, but I click on View CMA, and it will show you what it would look like. Here's the sales recommendations. Here's the comparables.
What do y'all think?
Here's the pendings.
Close.
And here's the actives.
We just sold it for,
More.
oh,
Okay.
Sold it for more than list price.
yeah. 162,750 cash.
Your
So
sales
on-
price, wait, is based on an average
I
price
know,
per
that's a
square.
little high.
Yeah,
That's a-
but you got it.
I know.
For cash, huh? Didn't have to worry about an appraisal, yeah.
No. We had- Yeah, that hadn't been cash.
No, on HAR,
The closings are.
no, on an Android, it's going to make it go portrait like this, but on an iPad, it's going to look like this, right? So,
Yeah,
That's hard to explain.
yeah, but on an iPad, it looks like this, and on Android, it makes it like this. This is what the app looks like when you're using it. When you get in, the thing about it is when you get in, when you install